Hello and welcome to all new Player 2 Plays. My name is Paul James, and in this episode we're playing Detroit Become Human, a game developed by Quantic over in France. The game is now just a month away from release. A demo has been made available. This is the hostage demo, one that has been fairly publicised over the course of the game's PR cycle. We've seen it for about 2 years now. For those who've been to PAX or EB Expo or other events around the world, you've probably had an opportunity to play this game. But we're going to mess around with the same demo. We're going to talk you through it. This is the first time I'm actually able to show you what it is I'm doing, because everything else has been behind closed doors sort of events in the past. We'll get into it. So it has come to light that this sequence, this portion of the game, is actually the opening of the game. We begin with this. We'll see whether that's true or not when the game releases in a month, but let's get into it. Now the key to this whole negotiation thing, there's a whole bunch of stuff to find. We're trying to increase our likelihood of success dealing with the hostage situation that's on the balcony, and we're just kind of investigating everything that's going on. So we're dealing with the Phillips family. We've got the fish.
Please, please, you gotta save my little girl. Wait, you're sending an android?
All right, ma'am. You need to go.
You can't do that. Why aren't you sending a real person?
Now this is one of those situations where androids, AI, that sort of thing, clearly hasn't totally become an accepted part of society in the world of Detroit. So that's why you're getting scenarios like that one you just saw. The all-important fish has been saved. Alright, we need to find Captain Allen. Oh, there he is there. So the key with any of Quantic Dream's games is this choice factor.
My name is Connor.
So decisions you make severely influence the outcome of the sequence, the entire game. All characters could be dead, or any subset of that. They could all be alive. And it dictates the way the game plays out. So what's the name?
Do you know its name?
I haven't got a clue. Does it matter?
I need information to determine the best approach. Has it experienced an emotional shock recently?
Listen, saving that kid is all that matters. So either you deal with this fucking android now, or I'll take care of it.
And the key, every second counts. So every little bit of dawdling I do eradicates that percentage chance of success. So it gives us a bit of details about the gun that was used, the bullets that were used, and the cool thing, the gimmick, I guess, around Connor and his abilities as an android is that you can recreate the scene and make discoveries about it. You can learn more about what's actually happened. So this yellow region, you'll see that I'm kind of in at the bottom there. Something important has happened there. In this case, we're seeing where the guns kind of come from. So the android has taken the father's gun, and we've reconstructed that entire thing. See that bullets and whatnot all fall to the ground, and then the gun is taken. Now, something I must concede now, like Heavy Rain, like Beyond Two Souls, David Cage's games Quantic Dreams games don't handle especially well. Controls are a little bit clunky. The choices, the story, the characters, they're all cool, but it's very, yeah, just a bit stiff and rigid to move around, and it's not ideal. Let's go find the young girl's bedroom, see what we can kind of find there. Is there anything here in the family room? Oh, there's her room. And there'll be things to find in here. So you can hear that the hostage situation is still playing out in real time while we do what we do. But we know that the girl didn't hear the gunshots. So there's a name we were looking for before. Don't know if there's anything else to be found in the bedroom here, so we'll move along. Let's go explore. Oh, that's the entryway. A few threatening gunshots.
All units hold positions. Negotiate.
So this will likely be the dad. So we can firstly see how he's died. He's taken some bullets to the chest. And now we can reconstruct the scene. So there we go. It seems like he was caught by surprise. He was sitting on the couch, had no clue. He was holding onto something. It's a tablet from the look of it. But then he takes the shot. We can see the tablet fly out of his hands and land in the corner over there. So we'll go explore that tablet in a moment. And you are required to kind of rearrange the camera there in order to find what it is you're looking for. You can't just be facing the wrong way, mash that triangle button and expect it to be found. You do need to kind of search the scene and see what it is that's kind of occurred that's important in that moment. But let's go check the tablet. So there we go. Daniel was going to be replaced. Oh, one of our SWAT guys has just taken a hit. Here's our first responder. And he's dead. Bullet still from that same gun. We can reconstruct the scene now and see what happened. There's 2 points that we need to investigate here. So the first is the fact that our little girl here was present when the whole thing happened. And that Daniel has taken a shot. Then there's now something that's emerged at the beginning there. And it'll be the gun there that we can see bouncing away under the table. Now, you don't have to find these things. You could be all gung-ho and just go straight after it, pick up the gun, go do this, shoot him in the face, do whatever it is you want. There's a whole bunch of combinations and permutations that could play out here. And essentially, it is the choices you make that determine how this scene plays out. Oh. So we'll grab the gun. We'll take it with us. You can never be too sure. Maybe we'll need it. Turn off the pot. I'm sure that's irrelevant, but we now know that they're about to have dinner. We've got a news report here. And now that news report is looping. So we'll keep progressing. There's more to find, but the longer we kind of sit around, the more our odds of failure increase. So that's evidence of the blood that was spilt by Daniel before. We now know his model number. Alright. We're at about 80%. Let's get out there.
Stay back!
We found him.
Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
No, no, please, I'm begging you.
So the thing that we're always needing to keep in mind is it's not just our choices. There are choices that others are making kind of going on the side here. Not other players, but as in NPCs within this game. And we need to be conscious of where their priorities are and what they want to do, because they might make a decision that flies in the face of what it is you're doing. Such as that helicopter.
I know you're
Try and
angry,
calm him.
Daniel, but you need to trust me and let me help you.
I don't want your help! Nobody can help me! All I want is for all this to stop. I just want all this to stop! Are you armed?
So the choice is there. We have the gun. I might tell the truth.
Yes, I have a gun.
Drop it! No sudden moves or I'll shoot!
There. No more gun.
Now, because of some of the things we found, we see we've got the options at the top here.
They were
We'll
going to
try and work out
replace
what's
you,
actually going on.
And you became upset.
We can
That's
see the
what
dead body in the
happened,
water
right?
there. And I must say, the water looks fantastic.
I thought I mattered. But I was just their tool. Something to throw away when you're done.
Let's explore the
I know
relationship
you
between him and Emma.
are very close. You think she betrayed you, but she's done nothing wrong.
She lied to me! I thought she loved me. But I was wrong. She's just like all the other humans.
Daniel, no.
Listen, I know it's not your fault. These emotions you're feeling are just errors in your software.
No, it's not my fault.
I'm liking the chances of success here, but it's
I love
not
them,
beyond us to still stuff this
you
up.
know? But I was nothing to them. Just a slave to be ordered around. I can't stand that noise anymore. Tell that helicopter to get out of here.
Yep, let's accept. We'll get rid of the helicopter. That'll hopefully reassure him a little bit.
You want it.
99%.
You have to trust me, Daniel. Let the hostage go, and I promise you, everything will be fine. everyone to leave! And I want a car. When I'm outside the city, I'll let her go.
No chance, mate.
That's impossible, Daniel. Let the girl go, and I promise you won't be hurt. I don't want to die.
Let's reassure him.
You're not
We'll
going
just
to
keep
die. We're just going to
continuing.
talk. Nothing will
Oh, we're at
happen to
100%.
you. You have my word.
Now we could do something really dumb and stuff this up, but
Okay. I trust you.
oh, cool.
You lied to me, Connor.
That software instability thing I think is interesting in the corner there. Because I'm sure they could probably, Connor could maybe be rewired if he failed, if he died, or something like that. Maybe, because it seems like the whole premise about the game is about AI that kind of rebel, essentially. Maybe this instability thing is a case of he keeps descending for as long as he's alive. If he fails at any point and he gets reset, maybe that kind of knocks our ability to keep progressing. But this is a cool feature that wasn't present when I played it at PAX or EB Expo. But this is the flowchart for the scene, so you can actually see how it is that things played out, what you did and didn't do, choices that were or weren't made, and how ultimately and how it ended. Now you can see the one in yellow here. I messed around with this sequence with my wife prior to this. We were messing around with it just to see how it goes. We got a different outcome there. We managed to save the girl, but Connor essentially sacrificed himself in doing so. But then a lot of the other choices were quite similar to that point. We saved the fish. We could choose not to. We could choose not to take the gun. There's something there that we didn't do, splintering off the search for clues. Oh, the go outside bit. Maybe you don't have to go outside. I don't know. The guy from SWAT was injured. I guess if we acted quickly enough, maybe that wouldn't have been the case. We confronted Daniel, which is, I guess, the key point of this particular mission. And then it discusses how we kind of went about the negotiation with some options that now, with 2 playthroughs in this demo, I've not yet seen, which then results in the thing splintering even further. So we could have stood at a fairly distant distance, I guess. But then even within the dialogue thing there's a whole bunch of different ways it could play out. We were honest about the gun. But then there was different lies that kind of went on there. We built his trust, but it ultimately saw Daniel get killed by the SWAT team. But some different choices there. Defiant jumps. Connor leapt for Emma, saved Emma and fell. So there's a few different ways it could play out. It's certainly something, it's a free demo, so I'd certainly encourage you, if you're somewhat interested in the game or you're interested in this scene and kind of curious to see how it could play out. There's a bunch of different endings here. It looks like there's at least 6, and there could be more based on some choices you do or don't make earlier on. So there's a lot of different ways this one scene could play out, and then that is going to continue to splinter off into the various other sequences that will play out through the course of the game. It's supposedly going to be about 12 or so hours when it releases, so there's a lot of different ways this thing can kind of splinter out, and a bit like Heavy Rain, maybe you'll discover who the murderer was, maybe you won't. I'm sure similar sorts of things will be going on here. There'll be some drastically different outcomes depending on who's alive, who's not, what discoveries you make, what discoveries you don't, etc., etc. But that is Detroit Become Human. That was our little playthrough there. You can see it immediately asked me whether I want to replay the scene. I'll say no for the sake of this. I can play from a checkpoint, so I could kind of boot that up again. And while the trailer plays out here, I'll give you the usual spiel. So that was another Player 2 Plays. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. That'll allow you to get access to weekly episodes of Patched, the Video Games Club, The Insider, a whole lot of Player 2 plays, and a whole bunch more. There's some awesome stuff there, so please make sure to go and check it out. For written content, make sure to visit the website, player2.net.au, where you'll find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, the Player 2 Writer's Draft, and a whole lot more. There's some awesome stuff there, so please consider checking it out. The Patreon, make sure to visit it, patreon.com/player2au. Consider kicking in a few dollars to help the Player 2 dream continue to grow. There's a whole bunch of really awesome perks. You can join us in the Discord chat, all the way through to early access to episodes, exclusive episodes. You can even join us on the monthly Player 2 podcast. We've already had one person who pledged at the top tier do that, so please consider it. There's openings there. There might be something really interesting to you. See if it suits. For rolling updates, you can find me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter. The website, you can find it Player2AU on Twitter. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. That was Detroit Become Human. Cheers.